Hey guys, it's Jake. I'm the sole owner and operator of Magnolia Services. I'm a residential HVAC contractor based out of Johnson City, Tennessee. I'm going out to an existing customer's house. He finally got power back at his house, and he said that the heat pump is not working. He has a Smart Comfort split system ICP heat pump. Indoor unit is in the downflow position. It's 5 years old, but the unit wasn't registered. About 2.5 years ago, technically 2 years and 5 months ago, I put a new indoor coil in it. It was leaking like a sieve. So I'm not sure what's going on. He said that the indoor blower is working and the outdoor unit is working. Maybe the compressor's not running, I don't know. He couldn't tell me that, you know. Most homeowners don't know the difference, but he said the outdoor fan at least was spinning. So maybe he's lucky and we just don't have a compressor fire in these ICP units, especially Smart Comforts. They don't use a good quality capacitor. Pretty much nobody does anymore. Some are worse offenders than others, of course. So hopefully he'll get lucky and he doesn't have another refrigerant leak or something else going on. He said it's not blowing any cold air at all. The blower inside is working and blowing air. So I'm not sure what I'll find. I'm gonna have to take a detour here to get to this place. The bridge to get to his house, you have to go over two of them. One of them is impassable right now because of the Hurricane Helene. It's just not safe to travel on. And then luckily the one going over the Watauga River is fine to drive on. That one didn't collapse, so pretty lucky on that. I will have to take a detour through town to get out to 19E and then cut back across to his place out where he lives out in the country. Man, this area got smoked. Lots of damage. Irwin looks like a bomb went off there, man. It's really bad. The Jackson Love Bridge on Highway 26 collapsed. Multiple bridges on the 107 and the 107 cutoff collapsed over the Nolichucky. Embryville, all that road on the 107's gone. There's just a lot of damage, man. People are already hurting, I think, now compared to what we used to be because of the economy. There's just not a lot of money around here. A lot of people moving in from out of state, they seem to be okay because they work, you know, jobs on the internet and they're still making that California pay here in Tennessee. But a lot of locals and stuff, man, are just getting smoked right now. So it's pretty sad to see. I've never been price shopped so much in my life owning the business. People are hurting, and then I've also never experienced so many people standing right on me while I'm working. Not even that back from me, like literally right over my shoulder. I could feel like they're breathing on me that close, you know. So much so that when I hook up to units, I have to tell them, hey, could you back up a moment while I put these probes on so they don't accidentally get splashed with refrigerant if something goes bad, you know. It's unlike anything I've ever seen. During the hurricane where I live in Johnson City, we got really lucky. I just had a couple of chairs outside get broken that got thrown. Had a little damage to the roof where shingles kind of lifted up a little bit, had some nail pops, things like that. One of my windows got damaged. It's an original window from 1960, single pane, and the glazing cracked on it. It's fallen out. I really need to go ahead and either reglaze the window or finally replace it. It's only 3 windows I haven't replaced in the house, and that was one of them. So I'm not sure. My parents, they got trapped out there where they live in Greenville. All the bridges to get out to them collapsed. I couldn't get to them. The one bridge going over the Nolichucky at the spillway, they closed it because they thought that it was gonna collapse. And it ended up not collapsing, thank goodness, because otherwise they would have been on an island out where they live, man. There was over 30 feet of water in the one part of the road to get out to their house, so there was no way to get to them. They finally opened that bridge at the spillway so we can get back out to them, and my dad has an excavator out there, thank goodness. It's a smaller one, but he was able to use that and his chainsaws to cut his way out of his driveway. They had a lot of trees come down and stuff. And in Johnson City, we got pretty lucky. We just had some trees down. We had sections of the city that didn't have power. Had a minor pooling of water, but nothing like what, you know, Irwin experienced in Greenville and other places that just got completely smoked by floodwaters, man. It's really sad. But enough blabbing. Let's get over there and see if we can get this guy some coolant. Hopefully I'll be able to record this service call. Alright, so this is the unit here, Smart Comfort. Coil's got a little bit of dirt on it. Nothing terrible. Look at the inside of this, and I guess it's been 2.5 years. Spider's set up home in here. Capacitor doesn't look puffy. Feels flat. I'm probably just gonna hook up probes to this thing and see if it fires, see if the compressor fires, things like that. Go through the steps here. Well, I could not get this cap off at all. I mean, it is stripped, completely stripped. I was able to get the true suction off and the liquid line off, so that's what I'm gonna have to go into. I have no idea what's going on with this thing. Man, that was tried pushing on it, pressing on it, ended up discharging a little bit of refrigerant out this thing. But I cannot get a tool to turn that at all. It is stuck. It's like when it catches, it strips out on the inside of this. Alright, got my probes hooked up here. Got to take in my probes for the inside return and supply. I'm going to go ahead and get this unit fired. If it fires, I'll be checking the charge. It is holding pressure right now. It's at 208 standing pressure. This is 410A. It's about 74 right now, maybe a little more. My thermostat here, thermometer here is still adjusting. So I'm not sure. It might be a hair low, but I don't know. I think maybe we're gonna have a capacitor issue or something like that. I don't see any oil in there. Not off the top of my, not just on the first initial look. I really don't see any oil staining. Alright, well, I'm going to get inside and get this system fired. We'll see if it starts. Okay, so I got my probes placed in there. Customer's going to turn the thermostat on. It's actually gone up in temperature. I am out here in the sun. It's about 78 degrees right now. I got my amp clamp on the compressor wire common. And we're going to see what the inrush is when it tries to start up here. Should be any moment. Need to clean all this debris out of here too. Hopefully he's lucky and it's just a bad run cap or something like that. Hopefully it's not a bad compressor. That'd be bad. I don't know if it's going to be charge related. It's vapor liquid saturation up to 72.3, reading almost 210 psi now. Just see it's come back down now. It's at 76.8. Not very warm out for sure. Pretty cool in the house. He has a portable air conditioner. Very smart to be prepared. You really want to have one of those. It should fire up. Oh yeah, compressor didn't start. Drew 63.7 on the inrush. I went ahead and pulled the disconnect there. Drew 63.7 inrush on the compressor. Locked rotor is 62.9, so we're drawing over the locked rotor. I imagine we just got a bad capacitor here. This is a 35-440, 35-5-440. Jeez. I'm going to go ahead and test the Herm side. The fan did start up and start turning, but the compressor just had the death buzz there. Go ahead and test this thing out. I did test voltage here, make sure my voltage is dead. I'm going to take this Herm wire off. We'll test the microfarads here. It should be 35 on the Herm side. Yeah, it's completely dead. Not sure if you can see that. Dead ski. Nothing. Nothing. Let me get a photo of that for the customer. Alright, so looks like this will just be a dead run capacitor here. No run capacitor. I'm going to go ahead and let him know what he's got going on. Clean these cobwebs up here. Actually, I'll clean the cobwebs up now. bunch of them. Something's done turned this thing into their home. Pretty bad. Thing up here. Yeah, man, it's everywhere. I guess that's one of the bad parts about being out in the country. Everything's looking for a dry spot, someplace protected from the weather. That's a lot better. Alright, well, I'm gonna go let him know what he's got going on and see if he wants me to replace it. Alright, well, I got the approval to do the dual run capacitor. This unit does have about a month left on the warranty, just under that. But for me to drive to Virginia from where he's located to file a warranty claim on it would cost more than what I'm just going to charge him for the capacitor with labor. So he told me to just put on one of my USA made dual run caps, which is a much better capacitor than what he'd get under warranty on this unit for sure. The closest Smart Comfort dealer for me is in Virginia. It's a good drive. Probably take me from here 45 minutes or so to get there. Maybe not, maybe a little less, maybe a little more, I don't really know. I haven't driven it in a long time. I'm just putting these in. I like to hand do these with a screwdriver if I can, but can't always, you know, if you're rushed for time. But alright, I got the capacitor in there. Now what I'm just gonna do is go wire for wire here, and I'll make sure the stay-cons are tight before I put them back on. You can see they kind of get spaced out, and a loose connection is a burnt connection, so I want to go ahead and make sure that that they're tight on here. There we go. Yeah, you can see all these are kind of loose. Hopefully you can see this in the camera. Okay. And then we got two commons here. Make sure these are tight. Depending on where you get these, this is a Mars USA made run capacitor. Depending on where you buy them, these things come with a 5-year warranty, parts warranty, which is pretty nice. On. I checked them all. I'll go ahead and just hit this fan one and just see what it is here. I mean, not the, yeah, the fan was running, so I want to do the fan one. So my fan side has 4.7 microfarads, so that's why the fan was starting, but not the compressor. These capacitors are garbage, man, straight garbage. They are terrible. This thing's not even 5 years old, almost 5 years old from the manufacture date, not even the install date. This is just based off the manufacture date. It's already had a leaking indoor coil, and now you know, a capacitor that's failed all in under 5 years. It's pretty bad. It really is sad. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and mark my date down here and what the original capacitor was. So my date is 10/7/24, I write this for myself and the next guy. This is a Mars USA, and it is a 35 5 440. Alright, now I'm going to go ahead and hook my amp clamp up, and we'll see if this thing will fire up here, and what the inrush is now that we have a capacitor on it that is good. And I forgot to show this on camera, but I did test the Mars USA. Always want to make sure you test your new caps. I've actually had old Titan Pros, the ones made in China, bad right out of the box. So I stopped selling them things. I still have a couple on my van that I give to people if they need one and they don't have the money for a Mars USA. I'll sell them one of those Titan Pros. They're older now, several years old, but I'll do them for like 30 or 40 bucks just to help them out. Alright, I got my meter set on volts AC for amps, and I got my amp clamp on. I got it set to max, so it's going to take an inrush. I'm going to go ahead and lube this disconnect here. It was really tight. Need to get some more dielectric grease here. There we go. Compressor started that time. Did draw 55 amps on startup. 55.1. It's below locked rotor. It's a little high. Might have to put a soft start on this thing one day. 55.1 amps. Not sure if you can see that or not. Let's take an amp draw on the compressor while it's running. Not a lot of load out here. The temperature since the sun went away is down to about 73 degrees right now. It's about 70 inside his house. So we're only drawing 4.3 amps on the compressor. Running load amps is 10.9, so we're less than 50% there. And then let's do the condenser fan motor. Condenser fan motor is drawing 0.5 amps, and the FLA on the fan motor is 0.6, so it's getting up there a little bit as well. Not bad though, still testing okay. Alright, so I'm going to let this thing run for a little bit here and make sure the charge is okay. I asked him if he wanted me to check the charge since it was just a dual run cap. He said he didn't really care, you know. He didn't really want to pay any extra money for it. So, I'll probably just let my probes acclimate to the return and supply, let it run a little bit, just do a quick little charge check for him, just as a courtesy. Well, I actually misspoke. I wouldn't have been able to get a warranty on this anyways. This one was not registered, and it goes off the manufacture date. So the manufacture date was September 2019, so we're in October, so it's out of warranty. So yeah, I'm glad I didn't call them, waste their time. I already know that this was not registered. I thought for some reason it was November, but yeah, it's September 2019. It's running right now. It's gonna have to come up a little bit. We're running 120 on the suction here. We got a 40.5 degree vapor saturation. Superheat is at 6 degrees. Subcooling's at 3.5 and rising. It's gonna have to come up some more. We got 15 degrees of temperature split between return and supply right now. Hasn't been running long enough yet to tell. This should continue to rise. This is a TXV system. Hopefully the superheat will come back up a little bit. This is a manufactured home downflow unit, so it has horrible ductwork like every other one of those. So just gonna have to let this sit for a little bit and give it a quick check. But so far it looks okay. 15.3 on the temp split now. 4 degrees of subcooling. I imagine this one's gonna be okay. but we're gonna sit here with it a little bit longer and see how it does. Also, cleaning the coil, you know, really wouldn't hurt this thing. You know, you can get debris in this, and then it just can't exchange heat like it's supposed to. This side isn't bad here. It's getting good heat off right now. We got about 10 to 12 degrees between what I had coming in and going out the top here. But it has, like I said, hasn't been running long. But this is the worst side right here. Look at that. That's pretty bad. So I'll mention to him, see if he wants me to clean it. I believe he does that himself, but obviously he hadn't been doing it. So I'll see if he wants me to hit it real quick with a water hose, give it a quick douche. Well, it still hasn't been running long enough to make a determination on if the charge is correct. But it has been a few more minutes, and you can see now we're running 7.5 degrees of subcooling. It's continuing to rise here. Looks like it's about to break 8. We're calling for a subcooling target of 11 degrees on this unit. Superheat's just a hair lower than I would like to see. You can see here the suction line temperature is only 47 degrees. Now there's not a lot of load on this system. It is pretty cool in the house. 70 degree dry bulb there. You can see it's pulling in some pretty cool air into that return. But typically when you start seeing that suction line temperature dropping below 50, you can kind of assume that you're going to have some airflow issues, you know. So this number really should be higher. This fan speed is set on high. It has an X13 blower on it, and it is in high speed. It's an open return, but the problem is the return's on the bottom of the door, and then it has to come up the unit and then down through the top, which is where the filter rack is. So he does use a low MERV filter to kind of help, so one of them fiberglass easy flows to try to force more air into this thing. But his restriction's going to be on the supply side for sure, because it's one of those downflow with the ductwork already built in this thing, and most of them are very restrictive. So see here, we're at 9 degrees of subcooling. We're perfectly in range now of having the charge accurate. We're calling for 11 degrees and we have 9. The superheat's a little low. We don't have much load. That suction line temp is low. So just got a little bit of an airflow issue here. Only hovering around 16.3 degrees, 16.4. Imagine that'll come up a little more. But yeah, I'm gonna let it run just a few more minutes to make sure it's okay. If I have nothing to report, I'll do an outro in the van here. All right, well, I just got depositing the cash and check the guy gave me to pay the bill, and just wanted to go over these numbers. But also, man, the Watauga River out where I was at was still very swollen. There were some houses still with water going in their backyard. The Watauga River in several places was overflowed into the local fields and stuff. People's sheds were submerged. I mean, it's crazy, the power of water, man. It looks like chocolate milk rolling down down that river right now. And when they're not generating, it looks real clear. I mean, it's pretty scary. Pretty scary indeed. On one of the parts of the road I was on, the water was only a couple feet away from the road. It's pretty crazy. But the suction pressure ended up at where I took my photo here, 117.2 on the low side, 267 on the high side. We had 8.1 degrees of superheat. We ended up at 9.5 to 9.8. It was fluctuating in there. Of subcooling, we had a target subcooling of 11 degrees. This is a TXV system running a 39.1 degree vapor saturation and 87.7 on the liquid saturation. The suction line temperature was a little bit lower, 47.2 degrees. Like I said, I believe that's also because we have a low load, but it is a downflow unit, and they're not known for having very good airflow. So I believe that's part of the issue. And then also the way his return is, the return comes in the bottom of the door and then has to travel up inside the closet and go down through the coil where his filter's at on top of the coil. And it's a low easy flow, low MERV filter, so it's allowing at least maximum airflow, and the coil still looks nice and clean on the top side. So he said he's keeping up with those filter changes, and I definitely believe that. The temperature split ended up being 17 degrees between return and supply. So, you know, I called that a 17 degree temperature split. So it's really not going to do much better than that. So I was happy with the charge on it. The indoor unit, I checked my records again, and the indoor unit does have 1 month of warranty left on it. It expires in November of 2019 based on the manufacturer. Where we ended up, not the most exciting video. I hate having to do capacitor videos on here. Everybody's got them, but that's just what I got. The last several service calls I've been on, I've had customers literally right on my shoulder. Yeah, so much so I've had to tell them, hey, you got to kind of back up while I put this, you know, probes on the system to check charge and stuff. I think with just the economy the way it is right now, people are hurting for money, so they just want to make sure, you know, they're not getting taken for a ride. It's just how it is. You get what everybody calls helicopters, but now it seems more prevalent than ever before. It doesn't bother me that people watch me, but I do wish I could post more videos. This is my slow season right now, and I don't have much to post because I'm not doing all that much work. I get some maintenances here and there. My service calls are really low, so it is what it is. I'll try to post when I can. I appreciate you taking time out of your day to watch the video. If you haven't already, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and leave me a comment. Let me know what you think. Thanks again for watching, guys. You guys stay safe out there. Get home safe to your families. I'll talk to everybody later.